sometimes we do current events. Sometimes we get like heady and thought provoking. Sometimes we spiral. But today we're doing our own version of a good old fashioned ranking. We're going to answer the question who the best quarterback is in the National Football League. Now, there was no guardrails or criteria other than who is the best right now, 2025, whatever that means to you. So the last 15 years might count. Maybe it's just this year. Number of championships might count. Maybe it's just who's doing the most with the least. Maybe MVPs weigh in. It's really up to us, but we're going to rank them individually. Majority rules at each level. And if by chance we each pick someone different and we have 3 different answers at 1 through 10, well, we got a little bit of a tiebreaker in store for you. We'll have to wait and see if it happens, and we can talk more about it then. Let's get this thing kicked off. I've been excited to have this conversation with you. Sometimes we do topics, and it's like you got to stay within this is an old-fashioned sports argument, right? Who's the best quarterback in the NFL? This is the kind of stuff that comes up at the office where you took a 7-minute coffee break and you realize you've been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. You got to get work done. Who's the number one quarterback in the National Football League? So Noah and I can tell you why you're wrong.
I'll be shocked if we're not all aligned here on the number 1 pick because it's Patrick Mahomes. There is no other answer. So I'm glad that you introed it in saying that there's a lot of factors that could have went in how we determine this individually. The way that I did it is I pretended that I'm GM of my make-believe team, the Sharks. And for the Sharks, I get to pick any quarterback to come from a team and be my quarterback. And thinking about it that way, the only answer is Mahomes. There's a lot of good quarterbacks out there. Don't get me wrong. And, some could say, hey, they just got demolished by the Eagles and they didn't adjust very well. You'd think for a quarterback that's number 1 in the league, they would do some better adjusting. No, that tells you more about the Eagles than it does about the Chiefs, or maybe more about the Chiefs' offensive line. But if I'm taking a guy, he's a proven winner. He does unbelievable things. I mean, he started inventing the no-look pass. He's taken it to a level that we frankly haven't really seen in the NFL. And there's already the comparison, will he overtake Brady? He has a lot of time left in his career. He was knocking on the door of 3 straight Super Bowl wins. They obviously didn't get it, but he's still a young guy. You got to take Patrick.
I will, to keep it succinct, because we got 10 of these, I'll just say +1. I was going to joke with you guys about how it was Baker Mayfield or something, but I can't even do that. I thought about it the exact same way, though. I will say that. I thought if you're going into everybody in the NFL is automatically a free agent. You're the GM of a team. What is your quarterback depth chart? So it's essentially the same idea. But I got Patrick Mahomes number 1. I'd take him every time, despite his Super Bowl performance.
The Sharks, John.
Yeah.
The Sharks.
So as the Sharks official assistant GM, I am not going to throw a wrench in here. The answer is Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not even going to beat a dead horse. Can we just move on to number 2? Patrick Mahomes is obviously number 1.
All right, let's do a snake since we're doing it kind of draft style. Noah, you went last this time. You get the first and the second round. Who's the second best quarterback in the NFL? I can guarantee you we don't have the same answer this time.
I agree.
My answer to this question is that, man, just up the highway, if you start going towards Canada, a snow-weathered, big-bodied, running, throwing, football machine from Buffalo, Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion.
Wow.
I like it. So, spoiler alert, not Josh Allen for me. This was one of the toughest. When I was doing the whole thing, this was one of the hardest slots. Who to put at number 10 was the most difficult. Who's 2 and who's 3 was the second most difficult. And I probably will disagree with you guys on both of them. If I were starting a franchise and had the second quarterback on my list, given everything we know, give me Joe Burrow from the Cincinnati Bengals. I think he's got more upside. I think he's done more with less. He has already played in a Super Bowl, despite Josh Allen being on the doorstep 80 times. He hasn't made it over the hump. Joe Burrow has demonstrated the fact that he could get you there. He's got all the talent in the world, and he's young. if I'm a GM of a team and I got to have a quarterback and Mahomes is off the board, I think I'm going with Joe Burrow, number 2.
Interesting take. I think the easy take around the NFL would probably be to say Josh Allen at 2. I don't hate Joe Burrow at 2 at all. He's high on my list too. But we're going to figure out real quick how we do a tiebreaker because I took Lamar Jackson in this spot.
I knew it.
That's fantastic.
Listen, I don't know how you could pick anyone else here. And that's not, I don't mind your picks. I'd love those quarterbacks on my team. Lamar Jackson just plays at a different level. He is unbelievable. Noah, you said that Josh Allen is a thrower. He's a runner. What is Lamar Jackson? I mean, he's setting records at these paces. And that team, I know that doesn't matter, but the team he has around him, I think there was some flack that they didn't go further this year. But it's not necessarily because of Lamar to me. When you have 1,000-yard rushing season as a quarterback, and yet I know that's the joke that he's a running back. He can throw the ball. He's a fantastic quarterback. I hate how hated he is. I don't like him because he's at an AFC North rival, but I respect him and I respect his game. And I don't know. If it's my money, I think I'm putting him at 2.
I think it's a good pick. I think we all agree that if any of us ended up with any of these 3 quarterbacks, it would be dope. My real quick 4-word rebuttal would be, I agree with everything you said, just not in the playoffs. That's why Lamar dropped down my list. Can't depend on him when you need him most. So, Noah, how are we going to break the tie?
I love how you spin this on me to try to explain this. I was expecting not to be the one to explain this. So basically, we are going to go round robin. And we all get to pick one quarterback to get thrown out of the conversation. The person who picked said quarterback then gets to pick from the 2 remaining. I think that makes sense. If you're a little confused, you'll see it work here in theory. John, who is getting to pick an elimination first?
Noah, this is your game, and I like it. So why don't you go first?
Yeah, I love this game too because I'm going to eliminate your overrated quarterback from the south part of our beautiful, beautiful state. So I'm going to leave it to Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen.
And because my quarterback got kicked out, I get to say who goes in the second slot. And because I have Josh Allen at 3, I'll put him at number 2 now. So the number 2 quarterback in the NFL for our show, even though it's there's a dissenting opinion, you can tell by Eric's face, is going to be one Josh Allen.
Interesting.
And we're in here, and we continue. I like this. This is fun. Let's keep it going.
You were complaining about the MVP award, and that it did not go to Lamar or a running back, Saquon, whatever. And you just put the guy that won it in number 2. That's interesting.
Yeah. It is interesting for sure. But I'm happy because I'm 2 for 2 right now. So.
Now, to be fair,
That's not how we're playing this game, but go on.
And the guy I said was my MVP was Patrick Mahomes, and I put him at 1. So I said if it's not Mahomes, then it's Barkley. But yeah, I mean that's true. I didn't say
take Mahomes. I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's all good. This is fun. All right, I guess. Do we snake it the other way? I'll keep going in the middle, or should I go first?
Yeah, time? It's your turn. You lead us off.
Yeah, you go first.
3.
So this is the trick we didn't think about. We'll figure it out live and quickly. I said Joe Burrow. He got voted out. I said Josh Allen at 3, who is now number 2. So do I just say Joe Burrow again?
If that's your next answer, if that's the next quarterback.
Right. How I would do it. Yeah, I'm keeping track as we go.
See my comments 5 minutes ago as to why Joe Burrow should be number 3, if not number 2.
All right, which would mean that I go next or Noah goes next?
Yeah, you can go because number 3 is going to end up being number 3 because we're going to agree here. I already know.
Okay. I'm going to throw a major wrench. No, I'm just kidding. It's Joe Burrow. Joey B is unbelievable.
You're taking Joe Burrow over Lamar after you just rode for Lamar?
Oh, Lamar didn't get. Okay. I forgot. You're right. I was confused. I thought I had it down. Sorry, Joe Cool. You're right. I'm taking Lamar. See my previous comments.
I will also take Lamar. So number 3 is officially Lamar Jackson for the At the Office top 10 quarterback list.
So Lamar goes to 3. You're right. I totally because I had Joe Burrow at 3.
So
all right, this is
actually,
interesting.
I love how you were just like, I'm keeping track, I'm good, and then just completely fumbled it.
I am too. I have a note up and everything. I just didn't do it well in my head, apparently.
all right. So we got Mahomes, we got Allen, we got Lamar. What's interesting is that we all had the same. Well, TBD. My number 4 is Lamar. So he already got put on. So I'll throw that out. Noah, why don't you get us kicked off this round? We'll snake you. Then Erik goes first next time. We'll get it back started.
Yeah, I think the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL is very obviously the top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL. So I think I could speak for all of us, and not to take your guys' thunder, but number 4 is about to be Joe Burrow. It should be Joe Burrow. The top 4 quarterbacks in the NFL are Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. And then we start getting into tier 2 in my mind, which is almost where this is going to get more hectic, in my opinion. So Joe Burrow is my vote for number 4.
All right. We have alignment for the most part. I had Burrow a little higher than you, but we agree. Top 4 of the top 4, and I'm with you, Noah. There's 4 can't miss, hands down franchise guys, so I'd put it tier 1 in the NFL. Everybody else is on a tier 2. Now, tier 2 is still really damn good because you have a Super Bowl winner, in my opinion, in tier 2. Hint, hint. But let's get started with this round. Noah, why don't you go first since that one was
Whoa. I didn't even go.
No.
It's not
I
Joe
get
Burrow?
to say, right? No,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
but
you should
I
be
wanna
able
at
to
least
talk.
say it, man. And it's my turn to go first anyway. I'm gonna turn over host duties real soon.
No.
Get back to
Noah's
your
was
thing,
Noah's was a throwaway because it was automatically Joe Burrow. So now that we're actually doing a real pick, I thought he could start off. But you guys
No,
do
that's
you.
all right. You're in charge.
Noah, who you got at
Bullshit.
number 5?
Number 5, I have the reigning Super Bowl champion for the Philadelphia Eagles. I have Jalen Hurts listed here. I think the Super Bowl pedigree gives me some sway to put him higher. He looked fantastic in that game. He's had some highs, he's had some lows in the NFL, but when you win a ring and you look that good on the grandest stage of them all, not WrestleMania for those who are wrestling fans out there, but in fact the Super Bowl, it's Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, because he is starting to butt up to that tier 1 top 4. It's going to be 5, in my opinion.
Yep. Couldn't have said it better myself. It's Jalen Hurts for me at number 5 as well. Not tier 1 because Saquon, I think, meant so much to that team that it's hard to say Jalen did all of it, but he did a lot when they needed it. He looked great this year. He got a well-deserving Super Bowl ring. Number 5 for me is Jalen Hurts.
Is it my turn?
Erik, you're allowed. Yeah.
I didn't know if we wanted to move on because I agree. Jalen Hurts, I actually had him at 5. Listen, it's tough because Philadelphia's offense has been inconsistent. It runs through Saquon. The receivers were unhappy at one point, but he powered them to a Super Bowl appearance 2 years ago, and he powered them to a Super Bowl win this year. How could you take anybody else here? I think that he's shaken off that, he tended to hold on to the ball a little too long. I think that's gone. He's been accurate, and he takes off when he needs to. He uses his legs effectively. I think he's our number 5 guy.
I agree.
All right. That's the first unanimous decision since number 1, I think. So we're back. We're back in alignment. All right, let's keep the snake going. Who you got at 6? E.
So this is where things, I think, start to get a little controversial. You guys might like my pick. You might hate my pick. I'm really not sure. But who I have at number 6 and who was at number 6 for me is Baker Mayfield. Hear me out. He has gotten better and better with each new year. He was throwing for unbelievable yards, throwing for unbelievable touchdowns. He's a playmaker and he's accurate. He has been so accurate, and he was the heartbeat of the Bucs. He had some difficulty, but he took them to the playoffs, and I get it. There's other guys on the list that maybe have won a Super Bowl, another hint like John said. But for me, and maybe it's a little nostalgia that I want him back, he slots in at my number 6.
I love that pick. You know, I'm a Baker bro or whatever Noah calls me. It's the
That's
last
what
Browns.
people call you type of people. You guys are
Yeah,
Baker bros. Get over it. He's not your quarterback anymore, but I digress.
yeah. It's hard to get over when you win 3
Wish it
goddamn
was.
games for $300 million. Noah, it's
Yeah,
a
I
tough pill to
agree.
swallow.
I'm not saying it's
Uh,
easy, but I'm saying get over it.
I'll try. I just hope it doesn't take another 25 years. We'll see how they do this year. Baker Mayfield is right there for me, but at number 6, I thought to myself, okay, you said if you're the GM, who would you take next? There's a couple guys I take ahead of him in a fantasy draft when I'm starting a team, even though I think Baker is right there at this tier. For me, it's Jared Goff. He looked real good regular season. We know that they had some injuries. The season didn't end out how we thought it would. But coming into the NFC that was that tough, having that high of a seed, I mean, the Lions season was just fantastic. And a lot of it was because of him. If I actually had, the power in my hands and said, the first 5 guys we mentioned are off the board, it's pick number 6, John, take your quarterback. I think I'm definitely going Jared Goff over Baker Mayfield, but Erik, again, I love the pick. I mean, he's a gamer. These 6, 7, and 8 for me were really close. It wasn't hard for me to put them in order, but they're really close. But give me Jared Goff at 6.
So we're gonna have another tiebreaker here because I disagree whole whatever you want to say, Erik, heartedly with both of you. Number 6 is a young kid on the West Coast that unfortunately has had some ups, he's had some downs, but I think in terms of talent and building a franchise around a guy, he is the answer before Jared Goff and before Baker Mayfield. And that answer to me is one Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert has had his highs, he's had his lows, and I think he fits here perfectly.
All right. Well, I'm the host, and it's my turn to pick, and Herbert's out. So,
okay. Well, then I'll pick Jared Goff gladly because Baker Mayfield isn't a top 10 quarterback.
What?
We can get into that at a later date.
Oh, it's been about 5 minutes. All right. So you're going to take Goff at 6.
See, this is the real flaw here in how we're doing it, because Noah's terrible take just gets to pick because you cut his terrible take.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Why is Justin Herbert a terrible take to you guys?
He's not a top 10 quarterback.
He's on my list. He's not top 10.
That's crazy.
Take.
No, I don't
so
have him.
Baker Mayfield is in your mind, but Justin Herbert isn't?
Correct.
I can't wait to hear the rest of your list then, because
that's crazy.
I disagree with you there. I just don't think he's at.
Well, we'll get
6,
into it.
But,
all
right.
So we got Jared Goff at 6 as our pick.
Yeah.
Whose turn is it to go first?
I think you.
Yeah, it's either me or you. So go ahead.
So Jared Goff made it. Number 7 for me. You think about what a kid did in his rookie year. You talk about a kid on the other coast. The Washington Commanders played for an NFC championship, and that franchise has been dead as a doornail for decades. That was good alliteration. I didn't even do that on purpose. Dead as a doornail for decades, man. I really think that this kid has nothing but upside.
Wait, I have something for that. Hold on. All right.
That took way
You're
too
welcome.
long.
Thank you. I'll take it.
That software wasn't up at the moment.
The late golf clap is better than no golf clap. Kid just balled out. He put up crazy numbers. He reminds me of like Lamar Jackson because he can run. He's an athlete. He can certainly throw. And he had them on the doorstep of the Super Bowl, ran into a juggernaut of an Eagles team that, I mean, hell, the Commanders didn't lose as bad to the Eagles as the Chiefs did. I think it's bright days ahead and sunny skies for Commanders fans. I think it's because of one Jane Daniels. So give me him at number 7.
So is it me up next?
Let's do Erik this time. Yeah,
okay,
I don't
Erik,
know.
Why not? Go ahead, brother.
I mean, listen, I got to stick with Baker for everything I said, but on my natural list, I did have Jaden Daniels at number 7. And because of that, I'll talk about him for a minute. He was unbelievable. I mean, this is a rookie that threw for over 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, had a passer rating of 100.1, which was 7th in the NFL this year. Ooh. That's unbelievable. He was 331 of 480, by the way, 69%, which was 6th in the NFL. This kid is a baller. I don't think it was a fluke. I don't think you're going to see him go terribly backwards in his sophomore season. I guess I could have used sophomore slump. My pick is Baker, but I love Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I'll keep my wrench in there and say I think Justin Herbert deserves a higher point right now than Jaden Daniels. If we talk about this next year and we see back-to-back success, I 100% agree. And Jaden Daniels is on my personal top 10 list, so I'm not discrediting anything that happened with that season. But to put a rookie quarterback as high as number 7 in my mind is getting a little touchy. I think he's up there. I think he's top 10, but I'm going to stick with Justin Herbert because I think we've seen plenty out of that guy to deserve number 7 in the NFL.
Which means that I guess I get to kick out a quarterback.
You do.
And I would have to kick out. I don't want Noah to pick again, though. That's the problem. Do I game it or do I say the truth?
You say the truth because you know Herbert is not the 7th best quarterback on this list either.
I agree. I got to kick out Herbert, which means I'm guessing Jaden Daniels is our number 7.
Yes, Jaden Daniels is our number 7. I will gladly trump the Baker Mayfield card as long as I can on this because he is not a top 10 quarterback.
Oh, he's not on your list at all?
No.
That is wilder to me than Baker Mayfield not being on your top 10 list is crazier than Herbert not being on mine. He got MVP votes this year.
Right.
Both are absolutely nuts. I'm the only sane one on this show. All right.
That's crazy. Says the guy with a mismatched hat and a mismatched jersey right now. Come on, man.
I'm stylish. First of all, you know you have a bad argument when you try to make personal insults. Nice try. Your takes are terrible.
You know it's all love, brother.
All right. Let's get into number 8. We only got a few left. I lost track of whose turn it is to start. I think it's Eric. No, Eric just went. It's Noah.
Justin Herbert. Next question.
Okay, this is where I say Baker Mayfield, number 8.
Oh, I have Baker Mayfield too, which means
Boom.
he is officially at
Sorry,
number
no,
8.
I guess he is the top 10 quarterback, isn't he?
He's on the list. And obviously, I think we'll do this, but I do want to hear who was on your list that we missed once we get to the end.
For sure. We can do that. You want to keep moving for now, though?
Let's do it. I think I'm up next. This was where it got tougher. So I said who comes in last. I put this guy in there, 9 and 10. GM of a team, got a draft for the future. Give me somebody who's going to be solid for the longest. I think I go Jordan Love at 9. He had a hell of a year.
I hate the take.
Thank you. They got bad weather. They don't have great. I mean, he did a lot with not a lot in a really, really tough division. That division, everybody but the Bears was like won 12 games. Certainly, I like his upside over Herbert at this point of his career, and that's why I put him ahead of him. I like him over a few other folks as well. We'll get into that when we wrap up, but give me Jordan Love at 9.
Who's going?
Okay.
Can I go? Just because
Sure.
we know what I'm going to say. Justin Herbert, next answer. Eric, go.
Well, this one's pretty easy for 9 because I have Justin Herbert as my natural 9 on my list. So I agree with him there. Listen, stat padding exists in the NFL, and there are meaningless numbers for blowout losses. See Blake Bortles on the 2015 Jags. But I think that Herbert puts up good numbers because he's a good player. And he doesn't even pass at a particularly high volume. The pass offense has always been the crown jewel of that team, though, under Herbert. We don't talk about the running backs in in LA. Dated myself a little there. We talk about the pass offense, and that is because of Justin Herbert, and I think he deserves to be on this list, and I think he is a solid 9.
All right, I got outvoted. I don't hate it. I don't think Herbert sucks. I have him at 11 on my list, so it's not like I thought he was a bum. I just thought I'd rather have Jordan Love and one other person ahead of him. We got through this pretty well. We're 40 minutes in. We got one quarterback left.
I think Noah and I are on the same page here.
Why don't you two go first?
You
All right,
go first,
ready
Eric.
let's do it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Matt
Matt
Stafford.
Stafford.
Jordan Love.
It's Matt Stafford for sure, because even though he's older, he deserves to be in the top 10. And the thing that I don't like about this list, we could talk about Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield. I had Jared Goff as my 10. Baker Mayfield not on it. CJ Stroud, guys.
CJ Stroud. So CJ Stroud's my number 10, but I said Jordan Love at 9 and didn't get it. So I played the game like we'd been playing it.
Stroud's
Baker Mayfield.
fair.
Yeah, I got Jane Daniels, Baker Mayfield, Jordan Love, CJ Stroud, and then Herbert at 11 and Matt Stafford at 12.
I feel like Stroud, for some reason, just completely was blank in my mind when I was making this list. I'm not sure I would change the list, and I like Stafford still at 10. I would like to point out I'm the only one on the show that had all 10 of his picks as the top 10 quarterbacks. So take that for what you will.
To me, to not have CJ Stroud in here, but have a Jared Goff or a Baker Mayfield is absolutely blasphemous on us as a show. Because
what has
CJ Stroud
done, though? I mean,
more
he's a
than
good
Baker?
quarterback, but Baker got a playoff win. Well, so did Stroud, I guess, against hapless Browns. But I don't know.
Stroud
over Goff,
is
though?
10 times. Goff is arguable. Goff was on my list. CJ Stroud over Baker Mayfield, 110%, 3 times a week. And if you're saying anything else, you're lying.
No.
No,
you're lying.
This is what I love about it. And no, you always speak in the absolutes when nothing is absolute. Say Baker Mayfield isn't on this list, and even though he's older, he deserves to be on the list because he played well in the past. I don't think it holds up.
I don't think Baker Mayfield holds up as a top 10 quarterback, and I will die on that hill because he's not a top 10 quarterback. And I, again, spoke in absolutes on purpose.
I mean, we can look at the stats. So let's just do that real quick. In 2024, Baker had 407 completions to CJ Stroud's 336. He had a percentage of 71.4 to Stroud's 63.2. He had 4,500 yards to Stroud's 3,727. He had 41 touchdowns to Stroud's 20. He had more interceptions. He did have 16 interceptions to Stroud's 12.
Say that one again. How many touchdowns? How many touchdowns?
41 to 20.
Oh, look at Noah. He goes, touchdowns, like those don't matter in football.
He
whoop, he threw more. He threw for twice as many touchdowns. Who cares? Yeah, everybody.
So you're telling
he had
me
more rushing yards?
You can sit there in good faith, look me in the eyes and say, if you're starting a franchise tomorrow and your 2 options are Baker Mayfield and CJ Stroud, you're taking Baker Mayfield and not regretting it at all. Right, Eric. Exactly.
Who knows if you're going to regret it? Yes, I can say that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could go that far, but
well, you had
from
him
what
at
we've
7
seen
or
so
6.
far,
You had him
Baker's
higher
the better
than me.
quarterback. I think Stroud. Here's the thing, and here's why I can't say that, because I think Stroud has the higher ceiling. Baker right now is the better quarterback. There's a big difference there. We talked about ceiling with the Browns and Deshaun Watson. Look how that ended up. So that doesn't mean anything right now. As of now, and looking at last season, Baker's the better quarterback.
Yeah, I was like, you can't.
We could argue this
you had
forever.
Baker at number 5, and then you had Baker at number 5. You forgot about CJ Stroud. Oh, the number 6. You had Baker at 6. You forgot about CJ Stroud, and then Noah put that question to you, and you got wishy-washy. And I was like,
because it's based
wait,
on
don't
the
leave
ceiling.
me hanging now.
I think he has. I do think that he has
fair.
a higher ceiling. But as of now, he's not a better quarterback.
I disagree with you guys, but I feel like we could talk circles around this for hours on end. And you already got me heated enough for the next topic, so I'm just gonna concede for the time being.
Spoiler alert, it's another dumb take.
It's not a dumb take.
You're going to argue with facts again, and I can't wait. I can't wait.
I
got
have
receipts.
facts. I can't wait. John, take us to break, man.
Noah's like, I would take Myles Garrett at quarterback 10th. I promise. Yeah. We're gonna
Here we
have
go.
more of that coming.
Why do you always give
Let's
Noah
get
like
out.
a
We gotta
southern
pay a
good
couple
old boy
bills,
accent?
but we'll be back.
Right. Go ahead, John.
We talked about this last night. It's the Ashtabula accent.
Oh, gotcha. My bad.
Oh God. Hold on. We do have a question
all right, let's
on
get out to commercial
Instagram.
break. We'll come
Hold
back
on,
and
John.
wrap up with our
John,
last
we have
one.
a question on Instagram.
Can you hear me,
Yeah,
John?
go ahead.
John would be terrible on the news.
I got a
producer
delay.
would be,
Go for it.
Oh, I'm like the producer would be in his ear and he'd just be plowing on.
Right.
Michael on Instagram said,
I got a real bad delay. Go for it, E.
Michael on Instagram said, serious question for Noah. Not knowing if you're a Browns fan or not, he is. If Baker puts these numbers up as a Browns QB, does that sway your opinion?
Yeah, probably. I'm a known Cleveland homer. I've said that multiple times here on the show.
So him putting up numbers like that for Cleveland, he's the better quarterback?
Yep.
Your whole argument's invalidated.
Nope. Orange and brown till the day I die.
Let's cut the break, John.